Today I'm going to show you how we're going to turn this $3.50 kombucha into 5 bottles of kombucha for 7 cents each. This will be the last bottle of kombucha that you'll buy. Make sure the bottle says that it's organic and raw. That way it has the proper cultures in it that will turn into the Scoby to make your own kombucha. It doesn't really matter what flavor you buy, just buy a flavor you like. Each of these carafes is 1 liter each, so we'll divide the recipe. It's a great starter for this size because it has a wide mouth and it's made out of glass. It's really important that when you make your first or any batch of kombucha that it's either in a glass container, a stainless steel container, or you could even use a ceramic container. But you have to make sure it has a wide mouth. It needs air as part of the fermentation process. The other thing you're going to want to remember is when you buy your products, buy them in bulk, because that's where your savings is going to come from. So I bought a 10-pound bag of sugar, and then this is 100 wrapped tea bags. You have to make sure that you use black tea and that there's no additives to it. The black tea is important because your Scoby is going to grow on the sugar and it's going to grow on the caffeine and on the black tea. That's what makes kombucha. You're going to want an empty jar to start storing your Scobies. I call this my Scoby hotel. Every time you make a batch, your Scoby will grow a new Scoby. And so I put my extras in here with a little bit of the Scoby juice. That way when my friends want one, I could give them one. So to get started with your first batch, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your pot and you're gonna boil 8 cups of water. Now that your water is boiling, you'll want to add 2/3 cup of sugar. Stir your sugar until it's dissolved, and then add 3 tea bags. And turn off your heat. And I like covering it back up just to make sure dust and cat hair doesn't get in there. So we're gonna let that sit. I'm gonna take it off the burner and we'll let it cool to room temperature because Scobies will burn if the temperature is too hot. So we're not gonna need this entire bottle to make our kombucha. We're really only gonna need about half of it. I was really careful not to shake it up because naturally the Scobies in here will settle to the bottom, and that's really what we want. And so I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and pour out half of it really carefully. I just wanna make sure that I keep that sediment at the bottom. Okay, so basically our sweet tea has cooled to room temperature. So now it's time to fill our carafes. Shake up your bottle of store-bought kombucha and divide it into each carafe. Stir up your sweet tea and divide it into your carafes. We're gonna go ahead and cover it up. I just used paper towels and a rubber band, and just careful not to tear it. Oops, and you don't want to leave any room, any holes, because flies will try to get in there. We don't want bugs in our kombucha, so we want to make sure it's nice and secure. So now we're going to put the kombucha in the cabinet and let it sit for 2 weeks, which means that my other batch is done. This is my batch from 2 weeks ago. I'm going to take it out of the cabinet. And then we're gonna add the new batch in the cabinet. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. It's ready to be bottled. I've gone ahead and added 1/4 cup of juice to the bottom of my bottles. We're gonna go ahead and take off the paper towels and inspect. Our Scoobies are grown. Oh, it's so great. So I have my little Scoby hotel. This is my previously grown Scobies. I'm gonna just use a fork and very carefully take out my Scoby. So this isn't a very mature one. It's pretty thin, but it's fully circular, the size of the bottle. Yours will start to look like this after a couple batches.
This is what your Scoby will look like after your first batch. This is what your Scoby will look like after 3 to 4 batches. At this point, it will start to grow a new Scoby on the top of the mother. You can divide the two and share with a friend, or store it in your Scoby hotel for later. To make my kombucha consistent, I pour a little in each bottle and keep rotating until they're all full.
We're gonna use the remaining bottom sediment and we're gonna put it in our little Scoby hotel. And I will use this juice the next time I make another batch. Now we're ready to either drink these, put them in the fridge, or if you want them extra carbonated, you could put them in your cupboard for 2 to 3 more days. The added sugar that you've added because of the juice, the new juice that you've added, will carbonate. But you don't want to leave it in the cupboard for too long, or it could create mold. Thanks for watching my video. Remember, kombucha is a wonderful drink. It's a probiotic, it's great for your digestive system, and people say that there's all kinds of other medical benefits. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a professional kombucha maker. I just like making it at home, and I like sharing the process with you. I'm gonna make more videos like this, so please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and ring that bell, and I'll see you next time.